Okay guys, so today we have a 2017 KTM 450 SXF. We're going to be doing an oil change. This oil change method should be similar for all the newer KTM models, most of them at least. I'm not completely sure, but it should be pretty similar for most of the newer KTMs. Should be similar to Husqvarna, and yeah, so let's get into it. Okay guys, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lean the bike up against something like I did. Try to get it as level as possible with the twist throttle side against whatever you're leaning against, so you can get to these two drain bolts under the shifter. So you should be able to look at the bike like this, be able to get to these two shifters. Remove your skid plate if you have one. I had one, I took it off already, but there's just one more drain bolt down here that we need to get to. And then for tools, we're gonna need a 13 millimeter, a 8 millimeter, and then obviously your oil change kit with your oil filters. If you're changing them, I definitely recommend changing your oil filters. Whenever you change your oil, just so you know it's done, but it's up to you. So yeah, let's get into the oil change. Alright guys, I got my old oil container, the funnel. We're gonna put all the old oil in. Got my ratchet with 13 millimeter, an 8 millimeter, and then an Allen for my skid plate, and then my new oil and my oil filter. So yeah, so drain this oil. We're going to first remove these two oil bolts right underneath the shifter. One of these will have a filter on it, and one will have like a magnet on it. This one I'm going to be a little more careful with, or try to be at least. Oh yeah, we got some metal on there. There's the magnet, guys. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's quite a bit of metal shavings on there. Yeah, it's quite a bit. Might see. It's not terrible, but there's definitely some metal shavings on there. This bike was due for an oil change. It's pretty bad oil. Okay guys, here's a new washer. Put it on our bolt with the magnet. Make sure the old washer's not on there, because that would cause it to leak oil. Now we're just going to tighten this down for now. I'll come back and torque this later. Then we're going to go clean our filter that we took out a minute ago. Alright guys, so this is what our metal filter looks like. It's on this bolt right here. I'm just going to take it off of this cap, like this. And then we're going to grab an air hose of some sort. That's what I like to do. And we're going to blow it out, try not to use too much pressure. Just clean it out as best you can without breaking it. And there's a little O-ring on here. I am going to reuse it, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to replace it. It is good on mine though, but not bad idea to replace it. So, there we go. Clean filter, clean cap. We're just going to put it back together. Snaps right on. Now we're going to put it in the bike. Okay guys, I just wiped off around the hole where the bolt goes. I'm just going to thread it in a little bit with the filter in there. Then we're going to do the same thing we did to the other one. Tighten it down a little bit, but we'll come back and torque both of these later. Just like that. Yeah guys, so this one does have a filter on it too, so we're going to clean this out. I'm not going to video because we clean it just like we cleaned the other one. But then we're going to put this back in just like we did the other ones, and I'll show you what to do after that. Alright guys, so next we're going to move to the oil filter. These are two 8mm. So we'll get our 8mm in here and remove these two bolts. These will probably have a little bit of oil in here. So probably want to have our, not that it matters because we already spilled a ton of oil, but you probably want to have funnel with whatever you put your oil in down below, because more than likely there should be oil in here. Well, there should be, or else something's wrong, but yeah, so yeah, this cap usually gets a little stuck on here. There, yep, there's the oil. I'm gonna clean off this oil cap real good. Make sure not to lose the O-rings. Clean them up nice. Make sure there's nothing stuck to them. Then I'm gonna try to grab this oil filter. Might need to grab a flathead of some sort. There we go. Wow. This oil was bad. This oil was really bad. But there's a really good use for these after you're done with them. Shooting trash can baskets with them. Wait. Shooting trash can baskets with them. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna clean out in here real good. This oil was really brown. Pretty bad. So I'm gonna clean this out real good. was a little late on this oil change. Usually I change it about every 10 hours. It's probably had 12 on it. Maybe pushing 15 actually. Not quite sure when I did. I didn't keep track exactly when I did my last oil change, but it's definitely over 10 hours. It's at least 12. And we're gonna grab our new oil filter out of the box with our Tusk kit. It's just gonna slide in right here, pop into place like that, and the cap goes on top of it with our 2 screws. Again, make sure your cap's clean and there's nothing on that O-ring, and that the O-ring is still there, because that's very important. We're just gonna tighten this down. Okay. Okay, now guys, we got a torque wrench. We're gonna go around and torque all the engine drain bolts first to 10 Newton meters. Okay, then we're also gonna do our oil filter bolts at 10 Newton meters. Then we're gonna go up to 20 Newton meters for the oil filters are done at 10 Newton meters, but the drain plugs go up to 20. It's 20. There's 20. There's 20. Okay. So everything's torqued down. Now we're gonna flip the bike around and put oil in it. Alright guys, so we're gonna pop off we flipped our bike around, we're gonna pop off our oil fill plug. Then I like to use these Tusk disposable funnels. They were good for this because it's not as messy and you can just toss them afterwards. But yeah, so yeah, pop open our new oil. And again, it's really important that this is level when you're doing this, just so you can get an accurate amount of oil in there. You don't want too much or too little. Could affect your bike quite a bit. Trying to take our time, slowly pour in oil while we're watching the gauge down there. Trying not to spill any. Pop open our second one. By the way guys, you want to go until it's about halfway up that gauge. Okay guys, just popped up on the gauge. Just gonna, yep, there's half. Okay guys, there's a little bit, I like to go a little bit above half. Mostly because we're gonna start it up here in a minute, and that oil level's gonna go down just a bit. But yeah, so right above half of on the gauge. If you guys can't see it, but we're just gonna tighten this down snug, and make sure everything's cleaned up and out of the way. And now we're just gonna start the bike and let it run for a few seconds, then shut it off and check the oil level again. Shut it off, and we're gonna wait a few seconds and let the oil seep back down again, and yeah, see you guys in a sec. Okay, I don't know if you guys can see, probably not, but the oil went down quite a bit. So mostly because I had to pump some oil into the oil filter probably, but we're gonna add a little bit of oil just to keep that level where I want it. And that oil level will probably go up the longer that it sits, just because the oil's running down to the bottom of the engine, but we're still gonna put a little bit more in just to be safe. Right there, it's at half again, so that's where I want it. And yeah, so there you guys go. So yeah, there you guys go. That's a video on how to change the oil on a KTM 450 SXF, but this will work, I'm pretty sure, at least on most newer KTM 4-stroke models, like the 250, 350, maybe even some older 450s, but I'm not completely sure, don't quote me on it, but I bet it will. So yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys learned something, and yeah, see you guys in the next one.